everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video we're doing the video I've done for the last couple of years, which is me tier ranking every single book that I read in the previous year. So let's tier rank every single book that I read in 2025. So let's have a look at all of the categories that I have. Okay, so I have given myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories, and those categories are God tier faves, ugh, my babies. These are obviously my favourite God tier books that I absolutely loved. Then we have 5-star faves, I love these. Then we have I loved these and have no regrets. These are the ones that are books I genuinely really enjoyed. They were like anywhere between like a 4 to a like 4.75 star, but they didn't hit that 5-star category. Then we have 3-star middle of the road books. We have It Was There, It Happened, I guess. These are for books that I read, but I genuinely just have no recollection of. I genuinely just didn't like this. And then my bottom category, which is I hate this book with every part of my soul. And that is reserved for books that I genuinely just, nah. I have a few ones that I hated from this year. So these books aren't in order I read them. These are just the order that the pictures come up. So let's have a look at it. So first up, we have The Risk by St. Abbey. So this is the Mindfuck series. And I'm going to do all of these at the same time. I didn't give all of these books 5 stars, but as a whole, the series is a 5-star for me. So all of them are going to go into 5-star faves. I love these. So we have The Risk, Sidetracked, All the Lies, Scarlet Angel, and then Paint It All Red. That's probably not in the correct order, but oh well. I genuinely really loved the Mindfuck series. I think I read this in January. Yeah, I read it in January of last year, and honestly, I loved this series. I want to reread them at some point just because they were such quick reads and I genuinely just really enjoyed reading them. Okay, next we have All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is, I think, the 3rd book in the Natural series. I'm going to put this one in. I loved this and have no regrets. I genuinely really enjoyed this story. I love the Natural series anyway. It was one of my first like mystery kind of crime thrillery books that I'd ever read, and genuinely it was just so good. I had such a fun time with the series. And I can see right now that I've got Bad Blood and 12 here. Bad Blood is definitely going in 5-star faves. I love these because I love Bad Blood. It was a perfect way to wrap up the Natural series, and I think it did such a good job. And then we have 12, which is the novella, and I think I'm going to put this one in 3-star middle of the road books. This was fine. It was good. It was a little novella. It just wasn't anything that I was, gonna write home about. Okay, up next we have Hideaway by Penelope Douglas. This one is going to go into 3-star middle of the road. I didn't really enjoy this one all that much. It was okay. It just wasn't the greatest. I have a love-hate relationship with the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. Like, I enjoyed the series, but it's definitely not a favourite series. I think the only one that I really enjoyed was the last one, Nightfall. The rest of them, I was just kind of like, eh. Okay, up next, we have ones that are definitely going in my God tier category. Let me just move them up to there so then I can scroll up. We have House of Earth and Blood and then House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. These are the first 2 books in the Crescent City series. As I am currently filming this video, I am reading the 3rd book in this series. This is a God tier series for me. Honestly, all SJM books are kind of in my God tier. I love the Throne of Glass series, the ACOTAR series and Crescent City series, and once I finish reading House of Flame and Shadow, I have no more books to read by her, which makes me very sad, just because I absolutely adore these books with every fibre of my being. Okay, up next we have Conclave and Fire Knight. which are the 2 novellas in the Devil's Night series. These are going to go into It Was There, It Happened, I guess, because I basically have no recollection of what happened in either of these novellas. They were fine. They were there. It just wasn't, woo. Honestly, I think I gave both of these like a 2 or like a 2.5 if I'm being completely honest. Because just wasn't really feeling them. Okay, then we have Corrupt. I don't feel like it belongs in I loved these and have no regrets, but it also doesn't belong in 3-star middle of the road, because I think I gave it like a 4-star. But I think I'm going to have to put it into 3-star middle of the road, just because even though I didn't give it a 3-star, I still just don't really think about this book that much, if I'm being honest. It was there. And honestly, I don't really like the Devil's Night series that much. Like, it was okay, but I've definitely read better books. I also just think I'm not really much of a dark romance girly. I do enjoy dark romances, but not like as much as I do like a sports romance or like a cowboy romance and stuff like that. Okay, next we have Blissful Hook by, I think this is Hannah Cowan. Yeah, by Hannah Cowan. This one, I'm going to put it in... I think this is going to be another one in 3-star middle of the road. I definitely preferred the first book in this series more. But I just genuinely really did enjoy Blissful Hook. It was I guess like a kind of like a best friend... it was a brother's best friend kind of book, I think. I don't know 100% sure if they were brothers. He was best friends with their brother, but I don't know, okay. It's been a little while since I read it. Actually, it's not even been that long, but Okay, next we have Fate Hollow Academy Term 1 and 2. I'm going to put both of these in. I love these and have no regrets. I genuinely really love the Fate Hollow Academy series. I've only read the first 2 books. I do have plans to read books 3 and 4 in this series. It's a series that Em recommended to me, and it's a supernatural reverse harem series, and it's just a great, fun, quick, easy time to read, and I genuinely just really enjoy them. I'm thinking of planning on reading book 3 in this series. 3 and 4 in the series in the last couple of weeks of this month, just because I have a filming break for those 2 weeks, so I might just read them for a bit of fun. Okay, up next we have The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. This one is definitely going in 3-star. Actually, I'm going to put, even though this was a 3-star, I'm going to put I love this and I put it in I love these and have no regrets, because I genuinely really enjoyed The Bodyguard. I did only give it a 3-star, but now looking back at it, I'd probably up my range to like a 3.5 to 4-star, because I did genuinely really enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to the movie that's going to come out for it. Because first of all, I love who they've cast as the main characters, and second of all, it was just a fun, like, little time. This book has like no spice in it, which I actually really appreciate. I used to not really enjoy romance books without any spice, but as I've started reading more romance books, I've started to appreciate the ones that have no spice in them, just because sometimes it just gets a bit boring because the spice scenes are just all the same. Okay, up next we have A False Start by Elsie Silver. This one is going into 5-star faves. I love these. I did originally give A False Start a 4.5-star, I think, but since I've read the book and since time has passed a little bit, this is definitely a 5-star for me now, just because I think about this one as much as I do the 3rd book in the series, The Front Runner, just because it was just so good, and I love Elsie Silver's writing with every part of my soul. Okay, next we have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This is going in I loved these and have no regrets. I was introduced to Abby Jimenez's writing this year. I've read two books by her, and I've genuinely just really, really enjoyed them. They're very easy to read. They're very fun little like romances, and she's just a genuinely really good author. I just love her like writing style, and I think she genuinely does a really, really good job. I read Part of Your World, and I'm just going to quickly find it. Yours truly, which is just there. So let me do that and then move up to I Love These and Have No Regrets. I have really loved Abby Jimenez's writing. She's such a good author, and she writes such beautiful books, and I really genuinely love the characters and their dynamics, and I appreciate that even though her books have like very, very, very mild spice in them, they don't have, it's not like full on in your face spice. It's very much like a side part of the story, and a lot of it is about the characters' emotions and how they feel towards each other. And honestly, I've really loved the two I've read, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of her books. I have two more on my TBR, which is I think Just for the Summer and Part of You, and Just for the Summer and Say You'll Remember Me. I don't know why I said Part of Your World, because I've already read that one. I think it's because I was looking at the title. But yeah, no, very, very good little books, and I genuinely really just enjoyed them. Oh, okay, next we have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This one is going into, 5-star faves. I love these. I read this book because I really wanted to go and see the movie with my mum because the trailer looked incredible. So I read the book before I went to see the movie, and honestly, I loved the book so much. It was an automatic 5-star for me. I was not expecting that ending at all. I read this relatively recently, and I went to see the movie with my mum last week, and I have to say I definitely think the book is better than the movie, just in my personal opinion. But I love the book so much, and I really want to read more Frida McFadden books. I definitely want to continue the Housemaid series. I have book 2 because my mum got it me for my birthday, which I'm really looking forward to reading that. But yeah, no, very, very good book, and it's made me fall slightly in love with thrillers, and I want to read more thriller books this year. Okay, next we have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. This one, I'm going to put it into 3-star, middle of the road. This one was very much a... How do I put this? Weird jumble of words that came out to be a honestly kind of enjoyable, cozy little witchy book. I read this in October because obviously it was like Halloweeny time, so I wanted to read like a Halloweeny kind of book, and yeah, I genuinely really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it like a 3 or a 3.5. It isn't one to like that I'm gonna ever rave about, but it was fun. It was weird. It was very good witchy vibes. It was very cozy, and I'm glad I read it when I did. And this book has been on my TBR for a very long time, so I'm glad that I finally did read it. But it's definitely not an all-time favorite. Okay, next ones. I'm doing these all together. We have Tower of Dawn, Empire of Storm, and Kingdom of Ash. These are just getting put in that row for a second, so I can scroll up to the top and shove all of these into my God tier faves of my babies, because do I even need to tell you guys my absolute love for the Throne of Glass series? No, I do not think I do need to, because Kingdom of Ash was my number 1 book of 2025, and I read that book in freaking January. It was the 3rd book that I read of the entire year, and it stayed my favorite book for the entire year. That book just perfectly encapsulates and wraps up the entire Throne of Glass series in the most amazing way. And honestly, doing the tandem read of Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms was absolutely incredible. I loved it so much, and just I've realised not put them in the right order because it goes Empire of Storms and then Tower of Dawn and then Kingdom of Ash. But anyway, yeah, I don't even know why I'm worrying about putting them in the right order, because you technically don't even need to. But Oh well, my brain says I have to. Even though I've probably not put them in the right order for the Mindfuck series, but oh well. I'm just babbling at this point. Anyway, okay, we have next Meet Me Halfway by Lillian T. James. This one is going to go into I loved these and I have no regrets. This was the one and only book that I read in March of 2025 because I was in one of the worst reading slumps in March. It doesn't help that I was ill for the majority of the month because I basically got the plague after I went to the Gracie and Sabrina concerts with M. So I did not read at all basically throughout the entire month of March. And the only reason I read that one is because I listened to the audiobook of it as I was travelling back from London from when I was with M for the concerts. But yeah, no... This was just a great book. I genuinely enjoyed it. It was a single parent book. You guys know my love for single parent books. Recommended it to me, so what a surprise. I enjoyed the damn book. I think I gave it a 4.75. It wasn't a 5-star for me. It just didn't hit that mark, but it was still a really, really good book and I genuinely really, really enjoyed it. Okay, up next we have Between Periods by Hannah Cowan. This was the novella that went between... the first book in that series and Blissful Hook. I think the first book is called Lucky Hit, which I might do on now actually, so I'll move Lucky Hit up. Lucky Hit is definitely going into... It is a 5-star, but I wouldn't say it's a 5-star fave, so I think I'm going to put it into I love these and have no regrets. And Between Periods is going to be staying in It Was There, It Happened, I guess. Lucky Hit was really, really good. It was such a fun little read. I read it really, really quickly. I think I read it in basically like a single sitting. I think I actually did read it in a single sitting. Lucky Hit was so fun. It was a cute little sports romance. I loved the couple in it. I thought it was really fun. I loved the relationship between the characters. And also, something I love that Hannah Cowan has done is her characters. Yes, they do have third act breakups, but my darlings, they are not stupid third act breakups and they actually discuss their issues like adults. And I freaking love that. I love that so much. Because yeah, third act breakups is one of the things that really ruins books for me. But it didn't with this one. And I really, really appreciate that because the characters, even though they had a third act breakup issue, they talked about their feelings like adults and that was top notch for me. Just, top notch. And then Between Periods was the novella that went between Lucky Hit and Blissful Hook. I think I gave this like a 2 or a 2.5. It was definitely one of those ones, It Was There, It Happened, but I genuinely don't really remember much about it. And I didn't even read it that long ago. It didn't really stick with me, if I'm being completely honest. Oh my god, next we have Nanny for the Neighbours by Lily Gold. This one is going straight into 5-star faves. I've been meaning to read Lily Gold books for quite a while now because I've seen her books all over TikTok. People seem to love them. I know a couple of my friends have read them and they really, really love Lily Gold. And I read Nanny for the Neighbours in, I think, November. Honestly, it was so freaking good. This was a 5-star read. I read it so quickly. It's such an easy book to read. I love me a Why Choose romance and I loved all of the guys in this. I loved the main character, Beth. Honestly, I can't wait to read more Lily Gold books and one of them is on my January TBR. So I'm hoping to get a chance to read it just because I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, so... Nanny for the Neighbours is definitely one in the 5-star faves category. Okay, so up next we have we have The Naturals. This one is going into I love these and have no regrets. Oh Jesus. Oh, I need a drink of water. I think my body just forgets what oxygen is as soon as I start filming. And then likes to make me, cough up my lungs. Okay, yeah, so next we have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Oh my god. You know, I think I'm just inhaling the gallon of hairspray that I put in my hair after I straightened it, and that's what's making me choke. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the first book in the Naturals series. I don't really need to say anything. This is definitely staying in the I loved these and have no regrets. Just because I genuinely really, really loved this book. I think I'm going to find the other book in the series and add it as well, which is Killer Instinct. Here we go. And move that one up into the category. I hate that the covers don't match for the pictures I downloaded, but oh well. But yeah, no, The Naturals, Killer Instinct, all in the I love these and have no regrets. I genuinely really, really loved the Natural series. It was such a good little series. And Bad Blood, the final one, was definitely my favourite in the series. It perfectly wraps up the entire series in a really good way, and it basically answers all the questions I had through the series going through it. I think with the Natural series, my favourite to least favourite would probably be Bad Blood, Killer Instinct, All In, then the Naturals, and then 12. Just because obviously 12 is just like a little novella. Oh my god. Up next, we have First Down by Grace Riley. This one is going straight into, I genuinely just didn't like this. I read this relatively early in the year. I think I read it in February for a reading vlog. I was just bored for the entire book. I genuinely was just so bored with it, and I just did not want to continue the series. After reading that one, I got rid of the series because I just didn't want to read it. And yeah, just, it's one of my least favourite sports romances that I have ever read, sadly, which I hate saying. I don't like not liking books, but that one I was just kind of like, ugh. Okay, up next we have All Jocked Up by G.S. Holmes. This one was just a random one that I found on TikTok. And this one, I'm going to put it into 3-star, middle of the road. Do I remember the majority of the stuff that happened in this book? No, I do not. But do I remember having a jolly good time as I read it? Absolutely, yes, I do. So it's going into 3-star, middle of the road. Okay, up next we have Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. I think this one's just going to have to go into, I genuinely just didn't like this. I think I gave this like a 2 or a 2.5. There was nothing wrong with the writing or with the book as a whole. I just really did not like the characters all that much. I honestly was just kind of bored. Like, the writing style was beautiful, and I think B.K. Borison is a really talented writer, but the good writing was not enough to save me from not liking this book, just because I genuinely just did not like the characters in the slightest. And yeah, just, I was just really bored for the book. I'm just bored thinking about it. Okay, that sounds a little bit harsh, but oh well. Okay, up next we have The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. This one, I'm going to put this into I loved these and I have no regrets. It is a 5-star for me, but it's not a 5-star favourite that I constantly think about. I do really like The Way I Used to Be duet by Amber Smith. And they are very sad and they're very heartbreaking and they are very beautifully written books, but they're not ones that I tend to really think about ever since I've read them. I read the first one in 2024 and then I read this one this year. And it was 5-star. It was a really heartbreaking book and it was really beautifully written, but it just wasn't one that I think about all the time, and if not one that I've really thought about since I read it. Okay, up next we have Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas. This one, I think I'm going to stick this one into... I think with Kill Switch and... I think the last one's called Nightfall. I think I'm going to move that one up so I can do these both together. And I'm going to put both of these into 3-star middle of the road with the other books in the series. Just because, even though I did give, I think, like, Kill Switch a 4-star and then Nightfall like a 4.75, ever since finishing the series, I've just genuinely not thought about it in the slightest. Like, it was there, it happened, I had like a okay time when I was reading it, but none of the books in the series ever really, like, gave me that feeling of, oh my god, I need to keep reading this, oh my god, I need to finish this book. It was just kind of, I read it because I wanted to tick these books off of my physical TBR in a sense, which I know is a very unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people love the Devil's Night series. It just personally wasn't for me. Oh my god. Next up we have Game Changer and Heated Rivalry. Let's just move these up here straight away. And then Tough Guy. Game Changer and Heated Rivalry are going into my God tier because I am obsessed with those books. Mainly because I'm obsessed with the TV show, I think. Also, the books are just really good and they're really well written and I genuinely just really love the characters. Game Changer and Heated Rivalry were both 5 stars. I absolutely adore both of those books and they are definitely in my God. Well, are they in my God tier? Yeah, they're in my God tier because I've not stopped thinking about them since I read them. Jesus, they were so good books, such good books. And then the third one in the series, Tough Guy, is going to be staying in I love these and have no regrets. Game Changer and Heated Rivalry, I had such an emotional attachment to them and I genuinely loved the couples and the characters with every fibre of my being. But then Tough Guy, which is the third book in the series, I genuinely really enjoyed it. And I had a fun time with it, but it wasn't one that I was as obsessed with as I was with the first two, and I ended up giving that one a 4-star. So it's definitely in a one that's in I love these and have no regrets, but it's not a 5-star favourite and it's not a God tier one for me, sadly. So only 2 books in the series so far are a God tier for me. I just finished reading the 4th one like 2 days ago and I gave that one like a 3.75, which was good. It was still good, but it just wasn't like, you know, great. But I've still got 2 books left in the series and I'm still really looking forward to reading this rest of the series. But that is beside the point. I'm just rambling nonsense at this point. Anyway, but yeah, no, Game Changer and Heated Rivalry, God tier for me. I absolutely adore them and I can't stop thinking about the couples and the characters, and just getting to read the stories of those characters after watching the TV show was just so amazing for me. And then Tough Guy, which is the 3rd book, is definitely one that I absolutely really loved and I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the series. But yeah, just not a God tier series, but the first 2 books are God tier books. And it's my tier ranking list, so I can do what I want. I'm sorry if I'm now much closer to the camera, but you know, what you gonna do? I was just, you know, uncomfortable. Sorry, I had to move a bit. But okay, yeah. Next book we have Fake a Chance on Me by Hannah Cowan. This one is going to be another one that's going into 3-star middle of the road. I enjoyed this. This was a little novella. It's the 3rd book in a little novella series that she has. I think I'm going to do the other ones in the series as well. We have Till Cupid Do Us Part. And the first one, which was... Why can't I see the first? There we go. My cursor was quite literally over the top of it. Snow Harm, No Foul, which is the first one, is going to go into 3-star middle of the road as well. And then Till Cupid Do Us Part, I'm going to have to sadly put this one into I genuinely didn't like this. So this is a series of novellas called the Snowbow Ridge series. It's 3 little novellas. So it has Snow Harm No Foul, Till Cupid Do Us Part, and then Fake a Chance on Me. Snow Harm No Foul and Till Cupid Do Us Part follows the same couple. I really enjoyed Snow Harm No Foul. That one is a ex-boyfriend's dad accidental pregnancy romance, and it was very good, really enjoyable, very quick, easy read, and it was a good little Christmas read, which I really enjoyed. So I gave that one, I think, a 3-star. And then same with Fake a Chance on Me. Fake a Chance on Me follows a couple who two people who you meet in Snow Harm No Foul and Till Cupid Do Us Part, and that one is a boss / like employee romance one, and Till Cupid Do Us Part is basically following the same couple from Snow Harm No Foul. But with Till Cupid Do Us Part, it was basically just like 100 pages of smut, and maybe it was at the time that I read it that I just wasn't really in the mood for that, but I was just kind of bored with it, and I think I skim read a couple of the spy scenes, if I'm being completely honest, just because I got a little bit bored. But then Fake a Chance on Me, I gave a 3-star as well. I read that pretty recently. It's going to be in a reading vlog. It was fun, it was enjoyable, just wasn't really, anything to rave about. Hannah Cowan's writing. I've read a lot of Hannah Cowan books recently. They're very easy, quick reads, but I've only one of them has been a 5-star for me so far. Okay, up next we have Shelf Control by Kate Nicole. This one is going to go into 3-star, middle of the road. This was a arc that I got off. I basically signed up for the arc on Threads, because I keep getting like different posts about like different arcs I can sign up for. With this one, I really enjoyed it for like the first 50%, but then for the last 50% of it, it just kind of really tapered off for me, and I was just getting bored by the end of it. And also the fucking pet name that the main guy, Rylan, gave to the main girl, he literally called her Hedgehog. Do I need to say anything else? I also read that in the same video that I read Fake a Chance on Me. Okay, these next ones I'm going to do together because it's part of the same series. We've got Reckless, Fearless, and Fearful. So let me just move them up, and then I will move them into the correct categories. Yep, made that one up. Okay, so Reckless is definitely going into I love these and have no regrets. Reckless was really good. I think I gave it a 4.5 star. It wasn't like, it was just going to be a 4-star for the majority of the book for me, but then it got itself upped to a 4.5 at the end. Then we have Fearless, which I'm going to... Honestly, I'm probably going to leave that one in. I love these and have no regrets, just because I really did enjoy Fearless, but honestly, nothing can really stack up to Powerless and Powerful for me, just because those two are like favorites for me. Like, I loved the first one, and I loved the little novella. Like Powerful is my favorite one in the entire series. I'm not even going to lie. And then Fearful is going straight into I hate this book with every part of my soul. Fearful was not needed. I am sorry, this goddamn novella was not needed in the slightest. Like, genuinely, it added nothing to the story. Maybe if it had come out at the same time as Fearless and I could have tandem read it like I did when I read Powerless and Powerful, it might have added a bit more to the story for me. But because I read it so long after I read Fearless, genuinely, I just did not have a good time at all. I was so freaking bored. Ooh, okay, up next we have the Graham Effect, the Dixon Rule, and the Charlie Method. So I'm just going to move these up here so then I can scroll up and move them to the correct category. These ones are all going into 5-star faves. I love the Campus Diaries series with every fibre of my being. The Graham Effect, The Dixon Rule, and The Charlie Method were all just such good books. I read the first two, The Graham Effect and The Dixon Rule, in January of 2025. And then I read The Charlie Method, like, basically as soon as it came out, because I was so excited for it. The Campus Diaries trilogy is genuinely just so fun. I actually prefer the Campus Diaries trilogy to more than Briar U, even though Briar U technically comes before it. I gave all of the ones in the Campus Diaries 5 stars, and I genuinely just love them so much. And obviously I love the Off Campus series as well, but I read that like in 2024. But yeah, no, the Campus Diaries books, just genuinely so good, such fun books to read, and I can't wait for the next book that comes out that follows a character who you meet in the Campus Diaries series, which is Blake Logan, who I think appears in The Graham Effect. I think, anyway. I may be wrong, I don't think I am though. Okay, up next we have Behind the Net. Okay, so I'm going to do this series as like a whole. So we've got Behind the Net, The Fake Out, and then The Wingman is the other one. Okay, so all of these I'm going to put into, not the category that they're in right now, I'm going to move them up again, into I loved these and have no regrets. I genuinely really enjoy the Vancouver Storm series. I think as of right now, my favourite one is definitely The Fake Out, which is the second book in the series. I still need to read the fourth one. I have the audiobook for it and everything, and I technically own the physical copy of it. It's just I don't have it currently in my possession because it's currently at Em's house because it wasn't in my works, so I asked her to pick it up for me, and then the second she bought it for me, it came into my works, which is just so typical. But anyway, I really enjoyed this series. It's a very fun little hockey romance series. Does it stand up to other hockey romance series I've read? No, it does not, but is it still a fun, spicy little time with great characters and fun banter? Yes, it is. And I'm very much looking forward to reading the fourth book in the series, which is Gloves Off, because that one is, I think, a marriage of convenience or something. I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. Yeah, I think that was a marriage of convenience. Okay, do I even need to say anything about this one? This one was a reread. Binding 13. Let's just, go all the way to the top of the page and stick it straight into my God tiers. You guys know my obsession with the Boys of Tommen series. I don't think I need to prattle on for a good few hours as I probably could with this series. I literally read Binding 13 at the start of this year because I was in one of the worst reading slumps I had been in a long time. This was the book that got me out of that reading slump, just because I love Binding 13 with every fibre of my being. I love the Boys of Tommen series with every fibre of my being, and Chloe Walsh, please bring out the next book, okay? I need it right now. Okay, because I've been prattling on for such a long time, I think I'm going to do a couple of the series that I, know that what categories are going in. So first up we have the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. So we have Wild Love, Wild Eyes, where is Wild Side? Wild Side and Wild Card. These are all going into I love these and have no regrets. So let's move this up. Yep, so we go Wild Love, Wild Eyes, Wild Side, and Wild Card. You guys know my love for Elsie Silver. I genuinely really enjoyed the Rose Hill series. It's not my favourite series by her. That will always be Chestnut Springs as of right now. Obviously, she's bringing out a new series very soon, which I am very excited about reading. But Rose Hill, I really enjoyed the books, but none of them gave me a 5-star feeling. None of them were below a 4-star, but none of them were like a top of my list obsessed with. speaking of Elsie Silver, we also have Off to the Races, a photo finish, and the front runner. And then I obviously did that other one by her, A Full Start, earlier. So let's move all of these up so we can put them into their correct categories. Honestly, all of these are going straight into I love these and have no regrets, just because obviously it's Elsie Silver. I absolutely love these. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to move the front runner up into 5-star faves, just because the front runner and the full start were the two in the Gold Rush Ranch series that I absolutely loved, and they were 5 stars for me. They were such good books. I need to edit my rating for a full start, because when I did read it, I think I gave it like a 4 or a 4.5, but that's not how I feel anymore. As I've reflected on it, it is a 5-star. This is the issue with rating books as soon as you finish them, because then your opinion changes after a while, and then you're like, crap, I need to go and change that on all of the sites that I, rated it on. But oh well. But yeah, no. The Gold Rush Ranch series, such a good series. Genuinely such good little fun books. You're technically supposed to read Gold Rush Ranch before you read Chestnut Springs, because it's technically set before Chestnut Springs. But oh well. Oh, and there's one more Elsie Silver that I can add, which is Christmas in Chestnut Springs. This one is going to go into 3-star, middle of the road. This was just a little Christmas novella that she brought out and put out for people to read for free. You could just literally download it from the link on her Instagram page. It was just fun getting to be with my babies again. I genuinely really enjoyed it, and I had a fun time reading it. But it's obviously nothing to write home about, because it's a novella. And I think I've made my opinions on novellas very clear. There's honestly hardly any novella ever gets a really high rating from me. Okay, so now that I've done all of the, like basically all my Elsie Silvers, let's carry on with going through the list of them. So next we have the next 3 are all going into the same category. We have Not to Love a Love Song by Julie Soto, Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, I think it is, and Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. These are all going into, I genuinely just didn't like these. All of these got between a 2 and a 2.5 from me. Not Another Love Song. I expected to really enjoy this book, and I was enjoying it for the first 50% of it, but then the last 50% just completely ruined it for me, and I was just, gonna be honest, bored. Spark of the Everflame. I enjoyed this a little bit, but then after I finished reading it, as I thought more about it, the amount of things in it that I was just kind of like, what am I reading? What did I read, and why did I think this was good? I was just kind of like, yeah, no, my rating is dropping. And then Phantasma, this was the first ever book to make me not like spice. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Normally I love spice. This book, I was just kind of like, meh, whatever. Okay, up next we have The Legacy by Al Kennedy. This one is going into 3-star, middle of the... Wait, that's the wrong one. Here we go. 3-star, middle of the road. This one was okay. It was just a short book of little novellas, and it was cute and it was fun, but it wasn't it didn't give me the same feelings that all the other books in the off-campus series that gave me. Ooh, okay, next we have got the Playing for Keeps series. So I'm going to do all of these ones together. So we've got Play With Me, Unravel Me, Fall With Me, and then Breathe With Me. There's a lot of me's in that sentence. And then these are all going to be moved up. Let me just do that. And then scroll up. These are all going to go into... Scroll, well, wrong book. That one is not going into that category. That one is staying down there. I have the one book and I almost put Fearful in. Oh my god, I I love this? Because I really don't freaking love that book. So Play With Me, Fall With Me, and Breathe With Me are all going into 5-star faves just because I genuinely fucking love these books so goddamn much. They were so good. They made me cry. They made me believe in love, which is not something that I actually do. And they, you know, I was slightly obsessed. And then we have Unravel Me, which is going into I loved these and have no regrets, because this one wasn't a 5-star for me in that series, sadly. It was like a 4-star, but it was still really, really good, and I absolutely really, really loved it. I love the Playing for Keeps series now, which I did not expect when I read the first book in the series. But, you know, things change. Okay, up next we have... I feel like I'm missing a book on this list. No, I'm not. I just didn't see it. Okay, so we have Next of Kin, Next to You, and Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. These ones are all going to go into 3-star middle of the road. So let's move them up. Actually, do you know what? No, they're going to be going into It Was There, It Happened, I guess. Because when I tell you, I do not remember a single thing from any of these books, if I'm being completely honest, which makes me very sad because I absolutely adored Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. But honestly, these 3 have low-key, like, let me down a bit because I was expecting to love them just as much as I did Out on a Limb. But I honestly, all of them were like 3 stars-ish. I think the one that got the highest out of all 3 of those was Next to You, which I think I gave like a 3.5 or a 3.75. I've only got one more Hannah Bonham Young book on my physical TBR, and if I don't like that one, then I'm gonna just stop reading Hannah Bonham Young, I think. Okay, next up we have Onyx Storm. This one is going into... I love these and have no regrets because I genuinely did really enjoy Onyx Storm, but I did not give it a 5-star. It was only a 4-star for me because this book very much felt like a filler book in the series. It didn't, like, I didn't love it as much as I did Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. And I felt like for the majority of the book, it was just a lot of, like, world building and, like, random information thrown at you, and then all of the action kind of happened in like the last 20 to 30%. So yeah, this one was only a 4-star for me, which is why it's going into... I love this and have no regrets because I did love it and I have no regrets about reading it, but it's definitely not a favourite book of the year. Okay, so up next we have The Play and the Dare by Al Kennedy. These ones I'm gonna... Wait, well, let me... There we go. Move that up a bit more, and then the Dare, and then scroll up. The Play I'm going to put into I love this and have no regrets, but the Dare is going into 3-star middle of the road. I really enjoyed The Play. I thought it was very good. I can't remember what I gave it, but I know I enjoyed it. The Dare is definitely my least favourite out of the entire like off-campus Briar U universe. Honestly, I just really didn't enjoy it all that much, and I gave it a 3-star in the end. It was a bit of a letdown because I think it was the last one in the Briar U series. But then the Campus Diary series made up for it, so you know what, I guess it can get a pass. Okay, yes, we are getting very close to the end. Up next, The Reno. Let's scroll up. And this one is going into 5-star faves. I absolutely love The Reno so freaking much. I read this so freaking quickly. It's such a good book. It has just such good like mental health representation. It has just incredible characters, a beautiful love story. It's so funny. It's got incredible banter. Just, I love it. I love it. Genuinely one of the best books that I read last year. Okay, next we have the Willow Ridge series. Let's move these up. So we have Live, Ranch, Love and Riding the Line. These ones are going to go into I love these and have no regrets. I gave both of these a 4-star. I really like the Willow Ridge series by Emma Lucy. It's very fun. It's very sweet. It's a very good little cowboy romance series. I genuinely just had such a fun time with them, and I'm looking forward to the third one in the series coming out, which is called One Last Rodeo. I'm not sure when it comes out. I do have it written down somewhere, but I just can't remember right now because my brain is basically turning to mush. Yes, it's appropriate for these two being together on this list. We have Close Protection and Trust Me Always. Close Protection and Trust Me Always are both going into I hate this book with every part of my soul. Actually, you know what? No. Trust Me Always can go into I genuinely just didn't like this, but Close Protection, I've said it enough times and I will keep screaming from the rooftops. I hate this book. I hate it so much. Genuinely, if I could give books lower than a 1 star, I would, because this book genuinely, it was called Close Protection, but where was the closeness? Where was the freaking protection? Because he wasn't close by enough half the time when she was getting hurt. Anyway, and then Trust Me Always is going in. I genuinely just didn't like this because I gave this one a 1.5, and it honestly, this book really let me down because I was really looking forward to this book because this is the third book in the Boys of Avik series, and I was really looking forward to this couple just because I loved the characters in the earlier books, but genuinely this one just really let me down and I ended up giving it a 1.5 star. Oh my god, okay. The next couple ones I'm going to shove straight into my god tier. So we have For Whom the Bell Tolls, Taming 7 and Releasing 10. Let's scroll up a bit more. Oh my god. It's going to take me a while to do this because there's so many books. Scroll up again. Oh my god. One more time. There we go. Okay, yeah. For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn, Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh and Releasing 10. Just gonna read that so the books are together. For Whom the Bell Tolls is J.C. Lynn's debut novel. It's a incredible book. It's the first book in the Hell's Bell series, and I'm not going to talk about it because I've genuinely spoken about this book so much that I think you guys are probably sick of me and I need book 2 in that series. And then obviously Taming 7 and Releasing 10, Boys of Tottenham series, of course they're in my god tier. I read Taming 7 in January and then I read Releasing 10 as soon as it came out. I think right now is an appropriate time for a emotional damage, because I'm not okay. Okay, what do we have next? Ooh, Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. This one is going to go into I Loved These and Had No Regrets. This was the first ever horror book I read, and I genuinely had a really good time with this. It was so fun. It was a quick read. It was just like a genuinely such a good time, and I had such a fun time with it. It was a little short book. I think it was like 200 and something pages. Such a good read. I genuinely really enjoyed it. Okay, next on the list, Rewind It Back. Again, one that I'm going to have to scale to the top with. Give me a minute. Here we go. Rewind It Back. Obviously going in my god tier. It's Windy City series, okay? Did you guys really expect anything else from me than to put Rewind It Back in my god tier category, all right? This book perfectly wrapped up the freaking Windy City series, and I am sad that this series is over now. Yes, I know we're getting a novella, but it's not going to be the same. It's not the same as being with my babies. Because when I'm back in Chicago, I can't. I genuinely can't. Okay, next we have Seven of Hearts by Maggie Gates. This one is going into... I think I loved this and Have No Regrets. I did give it a 5-star and I genuinely really enjoyed it. And it's a really good book, but it's not a 5-star favourite. Because I've not really thought about it like since I read it. Speaking of books that I have thought about since I read them, we have Scattered Glitter and Gathered Sparkle. Let's scale up to the top with my god tier category. Give me a goddamn minute. Okay, roll up again. 1 minute, because it takes forever to get to the top. Here we go. The Goddamn Glimmer and Gleam duet by Blake Black. Whew. One of the best duets I've ever read. It's an amazing Why Choose Romance duology. I've not stopped thinking about it since I read it, and you know, I'm physically not okay. I'm physically not okay. I need to own those books because I need to just be able to stare at them. Okay, next we have the, it's called Mile High series, which feels weird for me to say because obviously I refer to the Windy City series as the Mile High series because the first book is called Mile High, but this series is also called Mile High. Whatever. It's the Mile High series by Jennifer J. Williams. I read this because I had the arc of the, technically the second book because it's a novella and then it's book 1 and 2, and I had the arc of book 2, which is Pause on the Playbook. These are all going into I love these and have no regrets. So let's move these up. So it's, there we go. Blue Lines and Lullabies, which is the novella. I really, really enjoyed that. Forecasting the Forward, which is the first one, and then Pause on the Playbook, which is the second one. I genuinely really enjoyed this. They're very good little romances. They're little sports romances. And yeah, I just had a fun time reading them. They were good little quick, easy reads. And the author's got another book coming out in the series, which I'm probably going to read. Okay, next we have Power Shift by Hannah Cowan. This was the first Hannah Cowan book I ever read. And this one is going up into 5-star faves. There we go. I genuinely really, really enjoyed this. I found this book because I was like, when I was younger, I was obsessed with like werewolf, like Omegaverse kind of books. So I wanted like an actual book that was like that because I used to read them on Wattpad, but I wanted like an actual book that was like that. So I searched Omegaverse books on TikTok, and this one came up so many times. So I was like, okay, I need to read this. I picked it up, I read it so quickly, and I have no regrets. It's 5 stars for me, and I cannot wait for the next book to come out because this is sadly only book 1 in the series. But that is the book that made me really like Hannah Cowan's writing and the reason why I read so many Hannah Cowan books last year. Okay, so up next we only have 4 more books left. So we have Chains of Obsession by Evie Winters. This one is going to go into I love this and have no regret. Regret? Regret. I don't know why this happens every time I try and film a YouTube video. I love this and have no regrets. This one is a dark romance. It was an arc that I got again off of Threads. And it was a criminal ex-stripper romance. It was very good. It was very fun. I really enjoyed it. It's Evie Winters' debut novel. I gave it a 4-star, and it was a very, very good book. And she's working currently on the second book in the series, which I also really want to read. Then we have The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. I've already spoken about this book way too many times, but you guys should know this one is going straight up into my 5-star favorites, just because I genuinely loved this book so freaking much, and I genuinely had such a good time with it. And it was one that I genuinely did not expect to love as much as I did, but it was just such a good, fun, whimsical book, and I genuinely just had a great time with it. Then up next, next we have Body Check by Al Kennedy. This one is going into, I genuinely just didn't like this. I gave this, I think, a 2-star. I can tell that this was one of the first books that Al Kennedy ever published because it was not, the writing and everything in it was not up to the same standard that like the Off-Campus series is and stuff. And like, I was genuinely just kind of bored with it. And also, I don't have a problem with reading things that are in third person. I genuinely don't really normally care about stuff like that. But the way this one was written in third person just felt a little bit weird, I guess. And I just didn't really vibe with it that much. And then the last one is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This one is going to go into It Was There, It Happened, I guess. I don't really remember much about this book. I know I gave it, I think, a 3-star, but I genuinely, after I finished reading it, I did not think about it again. Like, I genuinely didn't think about it since I finished it. So yeah, I was just kind of... It was one of those ones that I finished and then I never thought about it again. Because I've got to say, the Rebel Blue Ranch series, honestly, only one of them I actually really, really enjoyed. And that was book 3, which was Lost and Lassoed. Like, that one was the one that I enjoyed the most of that series. But that didn't even get a 5-star from me. But yeah, no, with Wild and Wrangled, that is the last book that I read. Well, it's not the last one I read. The last book I read in the year was Shelf Control. But that's the last book that was there on this list. And I genuinely had a lot of really good books this year. So I had a lot of God tier ones, a lot of good 5-star favourites. I had a lot of ones that I loved. Then we had some middle of the road ones. And then there was just, you know, a few that I really didn't like. And then only 2 in the hate that I hate this book with every fibre of my being. Because the other ones, I didn't hate them. I just, you know, I didn't like them. Fearful and Close Protection, though, I freaking hated both of those. But yeah, no, that is all of these books tier ranked. That's every book I read in 2025. I had some very good reads in 2025. I had a very good year when it came to reading. But yeah, no, that is every book from this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed watching me tier rank all of the books that I read. I'm sorry that this video is so freaking long. I did not expect it to be this long, but apparently I like to yap. But yeah, no, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe and hit that little notification bell below so you know when I upload. I upload every Wednesday at 5 p.m. with a sit down chatty video like this, and then every Saturday at 4 p.m. with a reading vlog. But that's it for today. I will catch you guys next time.